The confrontation came like a storm that no one in the family could avoid. So he stood in the middle of the grand living room, her voice cracking, her tears steaming, but her eyes burning with stubborn fire. "You promised me forever," she cried, her hand trembling as she reached for him. "I waited, I loved, I bled for you, and you threw me away for her." Her finger pointed at you, sharp and mild. The entire family sat in stern silence. Mrs. Kim shifted uncomfortably, guilt flicking in her gaze. Mr. Kim's jaw tightened as though waiting for his son to take control. But Taehyung didn't flinch. For the first time, his voice carried both power and clarity. No hesitation, no shadow. "I did love you once, Zoe," he said firmly. The words lanced through the room, but love doesn't live in the past. It's breathless. Breathe in the present, and my present is with mine. Gaps rippled through the room. Your throat tightened, your heart racing at his word. He didn't stop. His eyes never left yours, as though he wanted the world to witness his choice. So she stood by me when I was broken, when I hated myself, when I thought I had nothing left to give. She gave me patience, care, and home when all I gave her was coldness. She carried my pain, and now she carried my child. Zoe's knee buckled at the wall, child, and she collapsed into the floor, shaking her head furiously. No, that should have been mine. It was supposed to be us. He stepped closer, his tone soft but unshakable. "It's over. So it's ended. That day you chose to leave, and now you need to let go." The weight of his finality set into the air, so he sobbed uncontrollably, clinging to memories that no longer had power. Finally broken and defeated, she stared at her feet. Her voice was hoarse, cracked but low. "You will regret this." She turned, her finger rating out of the mansion, her presence leaving echoes of the grief behind. The door slammed shut, sealing the chapter forever. Taehyung inhaled shakily, his chest rising and falling as its thousand weight had been lifted. His eyes softened the moment they returned to you in front of everyone. He reached for your hand, threading his finger with yours tightly. "This is my final goodbye to the past," he mumbled, his voice steady but rough. "From now on, my only future is with you." The king mentioned Enos with a whisper, and Zoe manipulated presence as began to breathe again. The suffocating heaviness that show it all seems to be lifted day by day, replacing by the soft laughter, morning sunlight, and aroma of breakfast dripping from the kitchen. Slowly life was fading its balance again. At the long breakfast table, the family sat in their usual place. Mr. Kim read the newspaper. Mrs. Kim quietly poured herself coffee, and the staff moved about with a tray, but something, or rather, someone was missing. As Taehyung walked into the dining room, his sharp eyes scanned the table, his brow drew together. "Where is wine?" he asked, strangely turning toward the maid, who froze under his instant gaze. "She said she will bring the tea herself, sir," the maid whispered nervously, and just then wine walked in. The balance, a tray with a teacup and a steaming pot. Her small smile lit the room as she gently placed the tray down. Before she could even set it properly, Taehyung was already at her side, his hand close around tray, firmly putting it from her hold. "You don't need to do this," he said in a low, commanding tone, his voice less with concern. "You are already under enough stress. From now on, you rest, no work." Vine blinked up at him, surprised, and how openly he expressed his care now. Her lips parted, "But I left cooking for the family. It's make me happy." One sharp look from his positive, almost stubborn, was enough to make her words die on her lips. She bit them back and nodded silently. Tim turned to the maid. "Don't let madam lift a finger around her. She is to rest. Do you understand, maid?" "Yes, sir," the maid crossed, blowing their head. Point sign softly. But in her heart she couldn't help the warmth spread. He wasn't just protective anymore. He was showing his feeling openly, something she had longed for all along. She glared at him silently, watching how he pulled her chair out for her, how his eyes softened when she sat down, his hand brushed over her under the table from the barest sound. And it was then Mrs. Kim's voice broke the comfortable silence. When both Taehyung and Wine looked up, Mrs. Kim's eyes glittering, she set her down her spoon. "My daughter, will you forgive me?" Wine just tightened. Mrs. Kim continued, her voice trembling. "I become blind over Zoe's sudden presence. I let her lie shadow my judgment. I doubt you, my own daughter-in-law, who has done nothing but care for this family. I forget to look at the truth before my eyes become, because I let my affection for Zoe mislead me. Please forgive me." The room went quiet, all staff lowering their head at the weight of her word. One shallow hard, her eyes glistening. "Mom, it's okay. Please don't apologize. You were only blinded by the love you once had for her. I understand truly."